November 17th, 2025. Guys, you're looking at some of the newest images from Atlas 3I. Now, we saw it elongate in some other images, and these are different telescope images that we're going to look at in this video. And that's what you're seeing here, and I'll also show you a reverse of it and a little bit of enhancement, no AI or anything, just some brightening or dimming. But again, the elongation comes from whatever happened when we saw it. Did something hit it? We don't know. It started outgassing in 7 different directions and then started elongating because of that. But this is a pretty amazing shot here. It's not as detailed, but in the very detail, when it looks like there was definitely a little bit of enhancement there. But here, again, a little more of a raw image. And to invert it, guys, it kind of lets you know where the stars are, even if you're looking for objects inside of the Atlas configuration here, what I call the Atlas fleet. You still have these black dots when you invert it, which were white dots in the other image. But again, this would be, it has a forward jetting, some out jetting in the rear, and this would appear to be the central location of it. And this is one of the newest images. I think this is just less than 12 hours old, guys. And you can see some of the multiple jetting here. It's pretty bright here. When they get this bright on the original image, it's very hard to peel away that glare and look inside it. But we've already done that. Remember the image where I'm showing you some type of craft inside of that light ball there? But comparing the image you just saw with the long elongated tail, this is coming in, and I'm thinking this was Chuck's astrophotography live this morning. So again, this image is not showing a big long tail or anything, and this was live as it was moving. I think it was 6 or 8 hours worth of images. And again, this looks like Atlas did in the beginning. And again, on this image, you can still see that forward lighting, guys, and this is what's behind it. Now, I'm starting to be a little bit concerned about, are we getting the right Atlas images, or has someone taking over the control of the narrative? Maybe that's a better way to say this, because some of the people that have been doing this for a while or have a big channel or whatever, they are starting to say that even though in the beginning it looked like some type of craft or organized or manipulated object, that now they think because they're starting to see some outgassing that it really is just a comet. Well, I can understand that, and you always wonder, did they get a phone call or something like that? Because there's one thing that still stands out, guys, and this is also some fairly new imaging right here, and this is Atlas, and it clearly shows some highlighted spots inside of it. If I hadn't went a little deeper on that Dobsonian power image, that was a thermal image, I would say this thing had multiple nuclei, but that's not what we saw at all. I think this is one of the illustrations from Dr. Avi Loeb right here. Very interesting, 3 different sections as it's moving. You can see here, here, and here, and it's almost as if there's movement inside. You can see the larger image here, then this one right there, and then here. Same thing here. But again, this would be the area of the forward shielding that we've seen before, right? And another newer image, I think this was also on Avi Loeb's website. Again, some of the images are still showing basically a round ball with some when you open your telescope up and you leave the aperture open, you're going to get these streaks in the stars and things, and you're getting the same thing here with Atlas. So right now the narrative is kind of going back to, well, this is just a comet. Well, that would be easy to accept. It would be easy to say, okay, that's the deal. We understand it. Now you're getting some gassing out of it. But we saw I-Sun come in also from the other side of Jupiter. It was like an Oort cloud object, and it had a tail the whole time. But the one thing, and again, I think some of the people on YouTube have been getting a few phone calls, or either they never trusted some of the initial evidence anyway. And breaking these images down, guys, from the image and then a negative of it right here, you can see some of the outjetting, but nothing long like a long comet tail. But this is this photograph is from a very far away, and so you can kind of understand that. But again, you can see some of this, but it's not like a long comet tail. It's whatever occurred a few days ago when we saw that outjetting. Again, I think this is some of Avi's information here. And these are really interesting to me. Again, here's your negative here. Here's your regular photograph. Again, no elongated tail here. But again, it looks like multiple objects are highlighted within it. See that? You can see it here also. But this is Atlas. Now, people are going to go back and forth on what Atlas is. But guys, there's no way that, I don't care what kind of outgassing it does or anything else, that they can deny this image. We had several leading to this as we peel back that thermal image. And guys, there's no way that I manipulate it with any kind of AI or anything like that. This is one of the sections of what Atlas is. And this is that very lower, it looks like some type of outdrive, but it's definitely mechanical. You can pull this thing up. You can look at it very closely. And I'd love to get another thermal image, if it was possible, to look at it again. But regardless, if they say it's, well, maybe it is a comet. This is not a comet, guys. You saw this. There's no way I would mislead anybody on this. It just isn't worth that. So there's one thing, and guys, I think we're the only ones that took that thermal image and found out what was in it. No one else is showing these. I've sent it to even Avi Loeb. I've sent him some of these in an email. But no one shows it. And I guess because it's too much to believe, it's too unreal, maybe. But this is what's there. This is just the bottom section. Again, this is just, you've seen it before, but I can't overemphasize the fact now that the narrative is starting to shift back to this is a comet possibly. I don't know if people were contacted or they're just, and they don't believe their eyes. I don't know. But again, this was the circle that was in the thermal image. This is the lower section, and I've shown it to you many times. Other objects in here, look at that. Look at this. And so, regardless, is it outgassing, whatever it is a fleet of objects. We don't know where they're going, what their purpose is, but it's not a comet. Again, they're going to have to come in, and they could do anything they wanted to, lie detectors or anything else. I can take the images and show whoever wants to really see it the exact operation. Guys, in the last video, I did kind of go through from the thermal image to this point to the other ones. But this is what's there. This is no this is no AI, excuse me, this or anything like that. This is what's there. So whatever they want to blow it off as, they can. But they can't erase this, guys. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.